Hello there, and welcome. William Goldman. William Goldman wrote the wonderful book, The Princess Bride. I read it the year it came out. It was passed around among some freshman girls at my high school, my best friend among them, Darlene Van Antwerp. And I read it after she read it, and I fell in love with this book. It was so wonderful. It was the exact right book for me at the exact right time. And so when I became an English teacher, especially a teacher of freshmen, I began lobbying to get the permission to teach the novel, The Princess Bride, to my high school freshmen. I wanted them to have the same delightful experience I had the first time I read it. And my dream came true. I got to teach that book to my high school freshmen. But the first time I taught it, we could only afford to order 30 copies, and I had more than 2 classes of freshmen. I think I had 3 freshman classes that year, maybe 2. But it meant that I couldn't issue the books. We had to just keep them in the room and read them in the room. And I made a radically crazy decision that year. I decided I was going to read the entire book aloud to my students. And I did. I did for 2 weeks. Each day, a freshman English, we came in and read The Princess Bride. I read it aloud to them, and honestly, they loved it. I loved it. It was one of the best experiences of my entire life. And William Goldman had a fingerprint, kind of, as a writer. And so I want to use his methodology to suggest a writing assignment for you. William Goldman wrote the wonderful screenplay Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which, to be honest with you, is even better than the movie version of The Princess Bride. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid was written as a screenplay, and it stars Paul Newman and Robert Redford, and they're so beautiful and sexy. Even Ally McGraw, who is the love interest in the story, who's usually wooden and kind of silly. She's not my favorite. But she's wonderful in the film, just wonderful. It's a remarkable film. Another film that he wrote is Marathon Man. If you haven't seen Marathon Man, oh my gosh, it's amazing. He wrote The Ghost in the Darkness, which is a lion movie. It's just, his stuff is just wonderful. And he was also, as I understand it, a screenplay doctor. So somebody who's working on a screenplay and having a problem with it, he would sometimes come in and help them shape it so that it was a stronger screenplay. So he really did have an impressive, wonderful career as a writer. And he was interested in the greatest of all time. So if you think about stories about greats in their field, you know that they're very interesting stories. And The Princess Bride is full of the prettiest woman, the most handsome man, the best sword fighter, the biggest giant, the most evil villains. It's all these extremes, these superlative cases. And if you look at his films that he wrote, they're all like that. They're these exceptional beings that he's chronicling, he's writing about, he's exploring. And so what I want to suggest to you is a writing assignment where you write a poem or a story or an essay or a memoir about the greatest. I mean, think about somebody like Muhammad Ali. Even his press conferences were entertaining because he believed himself to be the greatest of all time. And people loved him. He was totally entertaining. Think about the greats, Mozart and Beethoven and Stevie Wonder and Dolly Parton, Aretha. These people are so fantastic. Everything they do is charismatic and full of excitement. So try it. Now, this can be someone that's the greatest that you've met, or it could be someone that's the greatest that you've studied, or it could be someone that's the greatest that you make up. But the idea is to explore somebody who's just remarkable at what they do well. A genius, the best, the very greatest. Now, it may not be the kind of writing that you do all the time. Goldman was drawn to this kind of story and he wrote it really well. But he also revealed something about audiences. People love the greatest of all time. So if you want to write something that will appeal to others, you want to get their interest, you want to get their attention, this might be a way to do it. And I'll be honest with you, most writing teachers will say, don't write for other people, write for yourself. And I agree with all of that, but every once in a while you just want to grab people's attention. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So you go for it. And good luck with it. And I hope you have a glorious rest of the day. And I hope you see me again real soon, you gorgeous people.